Alla go!
Hey, hi guys.
Greetings!
How's it going?
Well, no one's watching us right
Greetings,
now because we're delayed, but
greetings and salivations.
is that what you
I
meant to
mean,
say?
salutations. That's not what I meant to say.
No. Hi,
Well, I meant
Stu.
to say it, but yeah. Hi, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
So, how's the Red Angel stuff coming along? Do you know who it is? Are we all set for the big reveal coming soon?
Sure, I'm supposed to say I know who it is.
I don't know. I'm trying to give the option to be like, boom, boom, boom. You know who it is.
No, I'm not 100% sure, no.
But Project Daedalus, which is what we're talking about. The name of an episode that didn't actually lead to anything, which is quite odd.
It is. It was a bad choice for,
Wasn't great.
they could have come up with a better name for that one for sure. Yeah. But pretty sure that the Daedalus reference refers to Daedalus and his son Icarus. That he created a set of wings out of feathers and wax and told Icarus you could fly to escape, but don't fly too close to the sun. And Icarus was an idiot and flew too close to the sun, and the wax melted and the wings flaked away. So anyway, winged suit, Project Daedalus, it all makes sense.
So
And it ties in with the whole the titles they've been using. They've been using a lot of mythological titles in relation to their episodes, so it works for me.
just probably should have been not called that this time.
Yeah, that episode didn't work. No.
What should have been? What actually happened? It should have been. Well, maybe what's the name? What was the name of the base? I guess we don't know the name of the base, or like Section 31's last gleam, or the big reveal, or Arium's death knell, or character we sort of like but don't really know is gonna die. Or
Yeah,
no spoilers here.
something like that. Well, we started this super chat or this live conversation off with a super chat was already sitting in there from Keith Jeffries, 1974. Puts in £2 and says, "I'm missing it. Have a good one." He dropped it in and then took off before we started. So thank you.
Helps a lot. Thanks so much. And just so you guys know that we are doing a live today, but super chats do help so much. Any amount with the little button at the bottom with the little money sign, any amount goes towards the production of the show. Then we can keep going. We want to do these every week for you, talk to you about topics, and yeah, just and also you get to help generate our conversation, because if you we have to read the super chats, and you can generate what we talk about, theories, and sometimes you guys have the best theories, and then we end up sometimes have a 10-minute conversation based on your $3 super chat, and then you both help the channel go a bit longer. We have a great discussion, and all the fans get to enjoy what do you think. And you sound smart, because we have to say your word, you have to say your name, even if the tag is like Strongman 69. It's like, yep, everyone loves Strongman 69 right now.
Ladies Man 2187. Ladies Man 2187.
Oh yeah, I get that reference.
Do you?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Cool. Yeah. Eugene puts in 500 rubles. Thank you very much, Eugene. What if Project Daedalus is just about building Daedalus class starships? Dude, we wish. I would love to see a Daedalus class starship on screen, looking even remotely what it's supposed to look like. I think Pacific 201 is probably the closest we're going to get when that actually comes out. Eric Henry's got some cool Daedalus class designs. Whether they'll be in the show, I don't know. But then some dude puts in €2 and says, "The cheap guy here, say my name, say my name." I can't pronounce your name. Sorry, don't know what to say.
John
Should
Smith,
we say his name?
I think it's
John Smith gives us €2. Thank you very much, John Smith.
Thank you.
Yes. Mechanic Steve puts in $2.
Cool name.
The Red Angel is Michael. I mean, very likely. But it could also be, I don't know. I saw in the preview for the next one, I saw Hugh, the EV suits. So maybe Hugh, who doesn't feel quite like himself, somehow becomes the Red Angel. That would be kind of cool. But that was a very odd trailer.
Yes. It was a good trailer. It was a stuff's happening. That's what you want. It's like the Infinity War. You don't or the New Avengers. You don't want to be told anything, because then it would be a reveal, a spoiler. You want to go into that one. I mean, the episode's called The Red Angel, so therefore it's going to be a big episode, which is great because there's still 4 left after it. So that means we have a continuing plot, and if they're 50 minutes each, we have a lot of content to come after this possibly big reveal. But it does kind of feel like a right time to go past that mystery, because we've already got Spock, we've had all the world building, we've had all the stories, we've had the Mycelium finish off that storyline. Like, let's get to the real meat and potatoes of the storyline. And I'm going to share what you talk to the audience. Just want to get that in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stephen Shaw puts in £5.
What did you say, Stuart?
Super chats definitely help out, B.
You cut out.
When did I cut out? What did I say?
Some chap I don't remember the name of. Super chat, and that's all he had.
Oh, Stephen Shaw puts in £5. There you go. Thank you very much, Stephen. No comment. But as I was saying, super chats are super important because they help the channel. They help it go. So thank you to everyone that super chats. Anyway, talking about that trailer, the vagueness of it, some weird stuff going on. They're using the old lateral transporter technology things, putting them around Burnham and strapping her to a chair. So it could be that she's the Red Angel, or she's going to try to communicate with the Red Angel in some way. It also looked odd because we saw Ariam's funeral, and she gets launched out, and then later there's a shot of the Discovery with the red in front of it. So does Ariam's body get sucked into one of these and become the Red Angel? The main talking point that we're going to discuss in this live is, where does the suit come from? Is it a Section 31 suit? If it is it present day Section 31? Is it from the future? Is it Captain Braxton? Instead of using time ships, now they use suits, and it gets taken from him somehow, or one of the temporal agents. Is it an alien technology? It's going to be really interesting to find out. But there's a lot of speculation about who the Red Angel is, obviously, and lots of theories work. Ariam would be a great choice, even though she's dead. I mean, you can use her body, I guess. Plus, there's hints like extreme loneliness when Spock mind melded with it. We've kind of talked about that in a few of our videos, different speculations and theories and stuff. So looking forward to hearing what you guys think. Was it Ariam's body? Oh, that they shot? I would think so. Because it was in the shuttle bay, there's a funeral, and then you see the thing shooting out the back, a blue shot out of the back of the ship. So
watching that trailer, obviously, it's nice they're focusing on the sadness of that, but watching Burnham cry about losing Ariam, you didn't spend a single talking scene with her. You spent 2 scenes.
She smiled once at her, and Ariam saved that memory.
That, yeah, and you work with her to decompile information from the sphere.
Yeah.
But I don't know that you're best friends. I mean, you're not a bridge officer, Burnham. You sort of are, but you sort of aren't. Tilly you should make Burnham not know who she is, properly. Have Tilly be the one. Give her some more screen. Give Detmer. Give the other bridge crew time to grieve. Don't show Burnham. It's she's also removed from the crew in a certain sense as well. It's such a weird way of... But I do think that's meant to be a nice reference. Firing out a torpedo of a dead body. It's happened in other treks. It's what you do. They have the smallest teen linking to canons, but it's one of those things that it's not so much linked to canon as, so what do we do with dead bodies in this universe? Oh, we shoot them torpedoes. Okay, we'll do that. It's not a reference per se, it's just that's what you do in this universe. Anything else would be weird. But I think, as with lots of other episodes, which they're quite good in the trailer editing, I'll give them credit, editing, certainly one of their stronger suits, is that they focus on such a small part of an episode in the trailer. That funeral will be the first 5 minutes, max. Maybe 7, including character stuff. And then everything else will be it'll be such a small focus, but it feels like a big focus, but it'll be Yeah, real small, real small. Although,
Yeah,
my
yeah, I
God,
can see that definitely being the case.
where the hell was the references to the AI? You know, the AI and the, like, are we going to deal with that threat? We're going to completely ignore the threat for some reason next week. I mean, that should be. Do we have time for a funeral when the AI is trying to take, space station, all these things? It's such a strange. Yeah. Weird. But Project Daedalus, do you think? Well, does it make sense that it's the Daedalus plot?
Just before we get on with that,
Okay.
sorry, I just got an emergency alert on my phone. So if anybody's in Ontario, I might as well just put this out here to help spread the word. But child abduction report by York Regional Police. Victim Jana Jaffrey, 5-year-old, 4 feet 0 inches, short brown hair, is missing. So last seen in a minivan northbound on Copard Ave, Markham. So there you go. If anybody's in the Toronto area and sees anything, these Amber Alerts are good. And if I'm on a live, I always share it because it could help, So there you go. Anyway, sorry for interrupting you. Please continue.
Although on a positive note, hello to Flavius v. Flonta. It is 11:17. Good evening from Romania.
Romania. Good evening, sir.
Don't know if we get a lot of Romanians. But yeah, so I mean, the obvious question then, and I guess the answer to the whole Daedalus thing, it shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't be a reference to the Daedalus classes because they have long existed. Both there is reference material saying they're a between NX and TOS invention. Some say they're a TOS pre-TOS invention, and even some that were saying they're a pre-NX invention. So you could have them anywhere. We know at least there's a TOS version because we see one on Cisco's desk. We know there's a licensed TOS version, which is the one from the Egomos, which is officially licensed by CBS, approved by even John Washington himself.
Which was the USS. Yeah, which was the USS Horizon from Piece of the Action. That's the ship that. Yeah.
But that was a modified version in itself. They allowed them to extemporize and do details because it was might as well. So that was one of the few they did that for. I mean, just side note, where in your gut, obviously you've got all the FASA stuff and all that other stuff. I guess clouding / informing your opinion. Where do you think the Daedalus fits in as a first build? I guess where do you hope and then where do you think it does if you were to base all the canon around now? Because we're talking Project Daedalus, so just not the Project Daedalus. It all counts.
Yeah, I mean, I see we have 2 super chats. We'll get to them in just a second. There's a book called Federation or Starfleet Year One, and the very first page it just says the events in this book disregard the events of Star Trek Enterprise, because before NX-01 and all that, there was the Daedalus class starships. They were the first explorers to go out with the high warp. And this is the captains jockeying for position because they want to get these new ships. So it's a really good book. I suggest you guys checking it out. However, I kind of like, because now NX-01 is canon, I kind of like to think that the Daedalus class came a few years after, maybe a year, season 5 of Enterprise, if it ever came about, that they were the new Warp 7 ships or something. And those were the ones that were used mainly for the Romulan War when that started. So that's kind of where I like to have it fit, which makes the most sense. But my way I would have preferred it was to have a Daedalus class be before the NX-01 if the NX-01 existed, or in place of the NX-01 for that show. And that's what they originally wanted to do. Doug Drexler and Michael Kuda pushed for that, but the producers were like, no. We need something that's recognizable as a Star Trek ship. So that says have a saucer and warp nacelles. So we got the NX-01. So that's my answer to the question. How about you?
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like them being TOS inventions. I think NX is a weird old time because it's so rudimentary. I think a big sphere is a less economical way of building. It's also not great either, but I think it doesn't quite conform to the pre-NX. I think you could probably argue for an in-between like maybe even a saucer, like a small saucer with balls on top and bottom. There's like a between NX and because then you can say like maybe they've got a shuttle bay in both the top and the bottom, and that I'd say okay, kind of cool design actually. NX with a Daedalus in the middle and their shuttle bays. Something functional that then leads on to an alternate in TOS, which is the some went saucer, some went balls. It didn't quite pan out as successfully.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the TOS vibe because they've got now a fleet, they've got other races, it all links together more. And you say, Doug and stuff wanted it to be. I mean, they weren't that high in the chain of command to make, just because they wanted it doesn't mean it was ever going to be even a possibility,
When they were talking about the show, they kind of said, well, this is the ship that's supposed to be in that time, that period. This is what we should have.
Yeah,
and they're like,
or at least a ball
we don't want
ship.
that. So
at least a ball ship of some kind. I'm
sure they would have
done a cool one.
You got to admit the Daedalus class ball design. It's more interior volume than a saucer, so you have more rooms, more crew. Plus, you got the secondary hull as well. So
it is, but for me, it feels like you're wasting more. Like all the curve factor, you're wasting so much volume. Whereas in a saucer, you've got just the outer. Is a waste, but then
that's a good point.
Nice flat inners. So I think as a quicker ship to build would be thinner, So I get internal volume. And that's why I think in between it's like they're trying to do more volume, as they go. But like we say, I don't think you could argue. I mean, they can invent what the hell they want, redo whatever they want. But it could be the Daedalus ship. It won't be, although it's there's so many.
No, it won't be.
As soon as you say Daedalus, I'm thinking the Stargate Daedalus. Obviously that we've got our own personal, what we like, and we'll get into the Daedalus myth again in a bit because that's presumably where they're taking from. They're not taking from the canon or other shows. Yeah, it looks like Daedalus class from Stargate. That's the reference. Like no. But I sense you have some amazing fan support to talk about because we love you and apparently you love us sometimes. Thank you.
We have 3 super chats to get to, so we're gonna hit those up. Sorry, Mark Smith, for taking so long, but Mark Smith puts in £10. Thank you very much.
Mark, wonderful.
Could the Red Angel be Giorgiou, a future version changed over time and missing her empire? Not sure I want that, though. I would think not. I can't see her changing that much. The loneliness, I don't know. I don't think that ties in.
I mean, if you have a time suit that powerful, I'm sure you could tweak it to go to an alternate dimension, alternate universe. I could buy that the character of Giorgiou knows a lot more than you would think. She also has access to everything in Section 31, that if you gave her free roam of our galaxy, she could use her knowledge to find the races that have all the different pieces to maybe get her time travel tech really early. If she'd she goes and attacks the Crenum, and steals, like she would go to weird measures and then be able to get a suit right at the end of her life, or at least some sort of time tech. Once you have time tech, you can go throughout. But I don't know. Giorgiou, it was a fine payoff for season 1. It's Empress Giorgiou. But if it was really Giorgiou, it'd be like, so what's your motivation? Why are you saving a church? I mean, that's all part of a plan to get to a plan, but.
Well, speaking of the church, that goes right to our next super chat. So perfect. Wayner B puts in $5. It's
cool.
How do the events of New Eden tie in with any of the Red Angel identity questions? Love the channel, guys. Yeah, see the angel going back in time to. Thank you, by the way, for loving the channel. But yeah, the angel going back in time and saving this church full of people is kind of an odd anomaly. What's the purpose? Who specifically are they trying to save? Is there someone they care about there, or is there someone from the future that's a descendant of one of these people that needs to be born on New Eden? So many possibilities. I don't even know where to start with that. I don't think we have enough evidence right now or enough information to actually speculate on why the Red Angel did that specific thing. Maybe once we know who they are, then we can get into that a little bit. But so many possibilities. Time travel, I tell you. Temporal dynamics.
That's why I say it'll live. This season will live or die by its, final reveal. But I think it's probably going to do something cool. Maybe not as cool as it could do. And again, hopefully Burnham isn't in the suit because that'd be a real massive problem with the season. But anyway, so the New Eden thing, people have got to remember that they've explicitly said in the show that the Red Angel has appeared to life forms like species across the galaxy for a lot of time. Whenever you saw in the early season pictures of the Red Angel, that was different races' interpretation, and they all looked similar. That was the whole point. They're not just like 70 people on Earth drawing a Red Angel because, you know what I mean? That's races across the galaxy, and so whatever this is, people microcosm it as it's trying to save Michael Burnham. It's part of this big grand plan. That okay, yes, time travel means that they could go back and do do the Eden thing after they do the final plot line of season 1. They could go back or season 2, sorry. They could go back and do all these things after the fact. The first thing they could have done is save Michael, and then it's a temporal thing, whatever you want. But my interpretation is more that it's trying to reorder the galaxy slightly to get people to a certain point when a critical event will happen. I mean, the Canon can, who was on the episode, have the timeline, and you see the ripples. You change one thing, it ripples. And so if they're calculating, even in Daniels with 31st century technology, it sees the timeline. You can see, well, this shouldn't happen. It's interfering. And so if they see, well, if we go back and change this, the ripple gets closer. But the weird thing being is that 7 signals appeared, and they went to three of their locations. So what are the other 5 not important, or the other 4? Like, do those, whatever's there, do they know they're going to only deal with the 3? Do they, were it 7 tests? Again, we'll see what the connective tissue is. I'm hoping it's nothing to do with Burnham, nothing to do with them. It's just, we need you all in this place at this time, because that is the convergence point of these timelines to solve this threat. So maybe it's just, we need to maybe just get the crew to trust Pike. Or put Michael Burnham in her place. The reason we keep letting Pike put Michael in her place could be just to make her evolve as a character, to get to do something better. Yeah.
Before we move on to the next 2 super chats, though, we got Flavius V. Flonta. He put his Patreon pledge from $1 up to 5.
Ooh.
€5. And he asked, do you think we're going to get a visual reboot of TOS? I don't know. I hope not. But
well, we're getting the TOS Enterprise bridge, so I mean
we'll have to see how that looks. We'll know then.
It's not going to look like it should. All we can hope for is it's built roughly the same, just looking more modern.
Yeah.
But
Minis, Models, and Mayhem puts in £2. Thank you. And I love this comment. This is when we were talking about the Daedalus class ships. Discovery has a ball and a saucer. You never know. Legit.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. It's
sad of the show. So
it's sad because the Discovery has a potential if it was done a little bit differently. Maybe 30% differently, but so much potential.
30. That's an odd number.
I
should say 25% differently.
Well, rounding up. Also, guys, make sure to like this video. We're at 72 with 219 people watching. Liking helps us get in the algorithms, and people will see this and enjoy.
Yes. And Alexander Berg puts in $1 with no comment. Thank you very much, Alexander. That's all helpful and very appreciated. So getting back to the Daedalus suit, I'm sure it'll be called, or the Icarus suit.
And just for clarification, this is Stuart's theory. This is specifically Stuart's bringing this to me as a concept. I don't necessarily quite agree, but we'll hear the full thing now.
I don't even know what you're going to talk about. I was just going to say, is it Section 31? That's what I was going to talk about.
The suit being Daedalus, that's your whole thing. So to just reiterate why the suit's Daedalus again, because I don't necessarily quite agree with that. So give us that spiel.
Well, if you look at their titles they've chosen for their episodes and what happens in the episode, they're very mythologically driven. And Project Daedalus, it's a suit with wings. I mean, Daedalus created these wings out of feathers and wax for him and his son Icarus to escape. I forget where they were escaping from, but anyway. And he warned his son, it's made of wax. Don't fly too close to the sun. And his son got all cocky and was like, yeah, we're escaping and I can fly, and flew too close to the sun. The wax melted and he fell to his death. So, Project Daedalus, a suit with wings. It kind of says that's what it's talking about. I don't think that's much of a stretch, to be fair. Um, but that would imply that it's definitely an Earth-based technology, if it is in fact called Daedalus suit or the Icarus suit or whatever it's going to be called. It could just be referenced as that because, it's a person with wings. But that's where I stand with it. So what do you guys think? And Sammy, why don't you necessarily agree with that?
Well, I mean, by saying that, you're saying that Section 31 has developed an incredibly advanced time suit in pre-TOS that also has the individual power to EMP an entire planet's worth of technology in the pre-TOS. That's what you're saying.
Hold the phone there, son.
Yes.
Not that's going to be the next part of the discussion. Is it Section 31 suit, and is it Section 31 from pre-TOS or from the future that has come back? See, that's what I'm inclined to believe, that it's a suit from the future. It's not tech that they've developed now by any means. I think that's way too advanced. First of all, it's a life support suit that can travel through time and dimensional gates and portals and just...
Now, see, conceptually, obviously, we know it's from the future anyway, so that's obviously... Well, the problem is Arium says Daedalus. Now, where she got that information from? Has she gleaned it from the AI that's interfering with her body? Well, that's from 2270s. But they say, about Daedalus itself, you need to find it, you need to stop it. That implies present tense. They're in a Section 31 base, though, and it talked to that AI. Maybe it told it, you know what I mean? I don't even remember the context of mentioning Daedalus. I probably should have gone back and looked at that. 1 second, I might do it in a few minutes, that 1 second. So what, the future AI that are killing the galaxy knows about a spacesuit called Project Daedalus?
Or the AI from the future that Control becomes creates the suit and uses Arium's body, perhaps, to whatever. I mean, there's so many possibilities.
But if it's done that, then it would have already won. Like, if it can do that,
you would think, yeah,
it wouldn't need to do save. I mean, then
it's the Terminator effect. It's Terminator effect. Why go back when Sarah Connor's 19 to kill her? Go back when she's an infant. It's just to make it more dramatic and interesting storyline wise. And Alexander Berg puts in $1 with no comments. Thank you very much for all the super chats.
Thanks, man.
Oh, and another one. Thank you. You must like what we're talking about. So thank you.
Eugene. Smart. Smart.
Eugene puts in 500 rubles. Multiple people already mentioned in the chat, but anyways, Enterprise Season 4, Episode 10, Daedalus, aka Long Range Transporter, is a thing maybe.
Let me read that IMDb. Smart.
I don't think that's going to have any tie-in at all. There's also a book called Daedalus and Daedalus Down or something, two-part book that features Trip after he's dead as a member of Section 31, but it's talking about a new ship called the Daedalus that has a new warp drive. I mean, there's a lot of references to Daedalus in Star Trek, so...
Yeah, but I think that holds a lot more weight, though, because we see transporter pads, and they use the transporter in this.
That's true.
That's a much more direct tie than the ship that is decades old.
Yeah. That's very interesting. I never thought about that, but you're right.
And they've referenced...
It could be a tie-in.
The only thing they've really, really referenced is Enterprise.
Enterprise, yeah.
I mean, that's actually reasonably smart. Well, I mean, it's again another weird stretch. That's great though. I'm trying to remember that it was meant to be long range transporters, wasn't it? That was the whole point. But to call 2 episodes Daedalus, well, no, what was this called? Project Daedalus.
Project Daedalus, and then the Red Angel. Yeah.
Why was that one called Daedalus? Because I don't think.
I think it's because it has something to do with the AI, the Control, and that's where we get introduced to it.
No, I meant why was the Enterprise episode called Daedalus?
Oh, I have no idea.
Was it
because again, flying long range,
or they flew too close to the sun of transporter tech and got burned by it, and then the sun got lost.
Yep. I think the sun getting lost is the key there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Great little semi
Not, not,
connection
not,
there.
not listening to your wise old father and trying to push the limits. You know how it is. Mr. Children. Anyway, Sky Coasterman puts in $10.
Oh
I
wow,
was
thank
pretty
you.
happy when they killed off Sonequa Martin Green on The Walking Dead. I would be even
Oh.
happier if they would happen on Discovery. No hate to the actress herself, and I love Trekyards. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. I think
I never watched Walking Dead, so I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't either. She's one of the weakest parts of that show. But it's not so much her. It's the core construction. It's weird. It's kind of like she's weaker than some of her parts because of the way they've used her. It's real weird, real weird.
Yeah. Z German puts in €5.
Hello.
Greetings, Captain and Commander. Captain, you have my permission to do a full background check on me to allay any fears. Commander, about being an axe murderer. LOL. I'm pretty sure you're not an axe murderer, but I will look into it just to be safe. But yes,
I'm possibly staying with him in June, hence the reference.
Yes, I understood this. No one else did, but that's okay.
We're wonderful fans is the summary there.
I'll look into it. Last name German, first name Z. Two Z's. All right. Eric Morgan puts in $5 Canadian. Thank you very much. Why do I have a thing there? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Sorry, computer issues. What if they found the plans in Red Sphere download and are using it to try and save the future? That's another thing I considered because Arian was sending the information from the Red Sphere. 100,000 years of history in that thing, and it's traveled the galaxy or whatever. So who knows what that could hold? So could be another tie-in as well. Yeah.
Problem is, it's such a conceit to say, oh, we discovered this great source of information, and that will be the Deus Ex, the MacGuffin for everything in the season. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't know.
Well, I can see it being a thing though, because it's kind of an episode thing, and then it kind of like is every now and then just kind of there and mentioned. It's not really too out in the open, so I don't know.
Yes.
Eugene puts in 250 rubles. Enterprise. The guy invented a thing that killed his son. That's why it was called Daedalus. So yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to kill his son.
Well, no, but the son didn't listen to him. So.
Yeah.
Alexander Berg puts in $2. Thank you.
Thank you.
AI killed Berman's parents. Red Angel trying to fix Burnham's parents. See, if they prevent the death of her parents and she never actually becomes Spock's sister, changes things, that might work. And I've never considered that one as either, but that's interesting.
What, a gentle timeline reset?
Yeah.
But the problem is they've invested so much time in character stuff, especially this season. Then Lorca wouldn't happen. Although it's weird, because if that happened, did Lorca still from his timeline went to the Discovery timeline, and died in this timeline, and then if the timeline gets changed, he wouldn't then go into a new version of our timeline. That's already happened and stopped. Because he's come from a different time plane. That's not getting changed. So he's already in those alternate universe planes. That's already been done. That's a one-time incident,
Yeah, so all those things could have happened and Discovery never came back. That's why, the mycelial network thing, that spore drive tech, lost us a ship. It never came back, so we're not going to talk about that anymore. That's top secret.
I'm just thinking back to Tyler Vock and Laurel and all that stuff, because it would make all the relationship stuff meaningless, because none of it would happen the same way. A show reset. Yeah. I mean, it's only been focused on one episode, but they, it's funny. I rewatched the red carpet just to see some stuff the other day, because they were pumping up the show, and it's funny to hear those two talk, Mary Schieffer and Shazad Latif, and have them talk about, we're going to get into the meat of their relationship and the consequences, and it's great to really explore it. I'm thinking, yeah, you did it for like 27 minutes of an episode. and it was really easy,
Mm-hmm.
and then it ended, and then you didn't have scenes together for an extra 9 months. So I like they promoted themselves, but they really do have to. So I always find it amazing actors that, because it's their job to promote and be positive. If you have 7 lines in a film and all of them are, yes sir, shields at 10%, and then you're asked in a press junket, so what's it like playing in Star Trek? They're like, oh, it's amazing, yeah, I love my part. It's like, you did nothing. You were on set for 2 days, and you know what I mean? So you got to really pimp your own stuff, and that might be the only scenes they had, and yet that's all they had to work with. That's all they can talk about, but they've got to talk really positively about it. It kind of makes me laugh. You'll be so diplomatic when it comes to interviews. It's like they had Vegas the first year, and they had the chap that died in the first episode or the second episode, whatever his name was. I don't know. And he was in the Mirror Universe, and it's about, oh, what was it like to be in the show? And the reason he was there is his character died, and he had like 17 lines in the entire show, and he's talking about it. He knows he hasn't done the thing. He knows he has no impact on the show. He knows, it's like, hey, it's so powerful and interested, and diplomatic man.
Dan23 says Daedalus is Star Trek. Daedalus is Star Trek Enterprise Season 4, Episode 10, with Emery Erickson, the inventor of the transporter device. His name is hidden in new Season 2 opening credits. That's interesting. Do you have a screenshot?
Whose name is hidden?
Emery Erickson, apparently.
I mean, sir, if you can back it up, that's a massive breakthrough.
Just email it to trekyards@hotmail.com. We will gladly look at it.
Play it live. Although, to be fair, people can fake stuff, because someone faked a wonderful picture of Seth MacFarlane as a director of Season 2 of Discovery, and it was like, yeah. Funny.
Patrick Dangster puts in $9.99.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Do you think there's a possibility that Captain Pike's timeline could be changed as well, like Burnham's fate, and get a Captain Pike spin-off? Anything's possible if you start messing with timelines and future or past events.
I mean, did you see that meme where it shows Ariam, has a awful accident, gets a full robot body, and serves out her career? Pike, awful accident, in a chair with 2 beeps.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've hurt that canon by doing Ariam as a concept at all. So
a little bit.
It would work better. Because now they can change time. They can say, oh, we're prime timeline, but we're changed after that Angel changed the timeline with Pike and stuff, and now he doesn't get hurt. And it's like, just guys, lead your own way, do your own alternate universe stuff. Don't be linking yourself to the original canon. It's not benefiting anybody. It's actually hurting things. Make that brave choice.
Yeah. Alexander Berg puts in $2. Leland responsible via control, hence implication. Responsible for Burnham's parents' death? Sure, I could buy that. Maybe Leland's been a hologram this whole time, and the control's been around longer than people suspect. Seems a little bit sketchy, but because she did make a point, Giorgio, was saying that Leland was responsible for...
Oh, yeah, that's the payoff, isn't it?
Burnham's parents' death, yeah.
We're in the trailer, we see a Section 31 ship, so I mean, that's going to be the next episode. Although, really wonderful note, Barry Tanner sent $42 Canadian to our PayPal.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Was there a comment or a question?
There was. Hey guys, nice to see you on live again. Had some spare cash, I split it half. I split it half as you guys do a great job. I love to help Baz T.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
Much appreciated.
Planning some international trips, and that is that budget. So that really makes a huge difference. And a second PayPal also makes a huge difference. 5 Canadian again from Christopher Finlay. Christopher again. Glad I checked. You guys are wonderful.
Wow. Thank you very much, guys. Oh, yes. Wayner B puts in $10. Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Daedalus equals Amanda. Icarus equals Michael? ? Amanda was conspicuously wearing bright red during the first scene this season. Could be a hint that Amanda is the Red Angel. There's people that I think aren't the Red Angel for sure. She's one. Though it does make sense, that's why she would have saved Burnham. But considering we see her in Journey to Babel and just Star Trek 4 and just how she is, I don't see her being the Red Angel. it's interesting, and it could be one of those things that, yeah, once you go back and rewatch the season after knowing the full arc, oh look, there's red, 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 red. They all
Oh,
mean something.
we've commented a lot of red as well.
We have, yes, but I didn't remember her wearing red. But
The problem with that is that all the Vulcans wear a shade of red. That's Vulcan garb. Okay, seriously though, anyone in the audience, we've got a tremendous audience. Can anybody explain to me why people think it's Amanda? Like, any reason it would be Amanda as Red Angel? Because I see zero possibility it's her. It makes no sense in any way to me. And I certainly have seen the season and we've analysed it more than a lot of people. She hasn't got a secret time suit. Like, would...
Yeah, the only thing that makes me think it could be her is the fact that she saved Michael. But because Michael wouldn't be all important in the whole galaxy.
That's one small event.
I know.
You know, she.
I know, but why would the Red Angel take its time to say Michael? What's the significance there? If it's like one of those selfish, oh, I gotta save my daughter missions, when she's doing other stuff. She didn't know it was her
daughter though. Like, well, she wouldn't have gained that much connection to her in those, you know, in those couple of months. I mean, it wasn't like years.
No, she's Amanda from the future or Amanda from now in Discovery that maybe gets the suit. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, but it's an Amanda from a timeline where Burnham died. So Burnham, after living with him for a month or 2 or 3, died, and then 40 years later she steals this time suit and saves her adopted daughter that she knew for 2 months and changes the timeline. She wouldn't love her enough after 2 months. Why would?
Oh, you can't say that. That's not even fair to say. No, that's rude.
Time travel is huge. Like, you didn't know her. Like, why wouldn't you go back and stop Cybok from? Why wouldn't you stop? You know, hit Sarek from cheating on her or whatever. You know, all the you know, or just save Cybok's soul and.
He didn't cheat on her.
I know, but the things that. You know, why wouldn't you go back and just tell yourself to help Spock with, you know, there's more reasons than to save the daughter you adopt already for 1 couple of months. I mean, and again, how did she get a time suit? Like, time suits aren't a thing until Mega Future. So therefore it's not anything pre-TOS, TNG, Voyager, none of that has a time suit. I mean, the Krenim have a massive ship. Doesn't even go through time. I mean, the you know, 29th century and 31st go through time. But just because, what do you mean, Amanda? But focal length. Where'd she get a massive time suit? What? Someone in the future gave her a time suit, and she used it to save a church. Well, so, you know, it doesn't.
We're gonna have to see what happens, because who knows? But I mean, yeah, I don't buy it being Amanda personally, but
well, because when the first thing Amanda would do,
maybe there's more than one Red Angel. Maybe they find out who the Red Angel is, get access to the suit.
Kill the Red Angel.
Yeah, or whatever, and then in that timeline, once they've killed the Red Angel or taken care of or fixed the issues, the problems with the universe dying like Spock saw, she learns that her daughter died in that one, so she has to go back with the time suit and fix it and try to save her daughter. I mean,
thing is,
the temporal thing.
If you're Amanda, wouldn't you go back and save Michael's parents? Like, really?
No.
You that's really selfish. I want Michael's parents to be dead so I can have a daughter that I knew for a month. No, if you want her to be happy, you go save her, and then because they're already on Vulcan or Vulcan colony. If you want to know Michael, who you knew for a month, I mean, that's the important thing, is save her parents. I mean, that's easier to do. And since they could EMP an entire planet, why wouldn't you EMP the Klingon fleet? And I mean, you know what I mean? These questions don't link at all. Yeah. Like I say, it just can't be anyone from the show. Like, it has to be, but it shouldn't be.
The focal length thing's a good point. How does the church incident make sense to any candidate, though? Tig Notaro will be important in one of the last episodes due to her tech skills, I guess. But World War III, not World War II, but World War III.
Well, how does appearing to 50 other alien races throughout history into any of their things? I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah, none of them.
That's just a cover to throw everybody off until
certainly. That's why it's Discovery from the future as an AI or a new character who'll be introduced who'll then play a part in the Picard show, because that's a reasonably smart idea. I mean, you know, retroactively, it's like in Doctor Who, they introduce River Song, kill her in the same episode, and then she comes back in future episodes, and that's how you get a backstory. You have a time paradox character. You know, like I say, it's better to be someone new, even it's a descendant to somebody. Like if it's, you know, not Spock's son or daughter, but I don't know what character you'd pick, but someone's great granddaughter that comes from, you know, 100 years post Nemesis, you know, whatever, and they've gone back because of, you know, they've seen the focal points change something, you know.
Yeah.
Or it could all be something as simple as their family dies in the future, their family dies in the future with the AI, and they find access to a time suit in the future, and they go back and say, well, these, again, you got to think of time as this massive, big waves, and you can change one, it ripples through, but if they can control the ripples, then you can save the future. I mean, it you know, it, or like I say, what could be Kraft's daughter? That's not a bad payoff. Kraft goes back, gets a few years with his family gets killed, daughter comes back, then it's, you know, Melinda Kraft. And we're like, who's Melinda Kraft? It's Kraft's son, daughter.
Christopher Maloney makes a really good point. Maybe Kraft is a descendant from someone on Terralysium. Yep. Maybe he's a descendant of the science guy that they revealed themselves to. Like a long lost descendant, and it has to happen, and maybe Kraft is the Red Angel.
Oh, but then he wouldn't have, well, we don't know that but then he wouldn't have existed in the first timeline. But we don't know.
But you say that, but there's other timelines, there's other realities.
But then it's not Prime. I know, but then it's not the Prime timeline. It's an alternate universe changing our timeline, and then we're not on the Prime timeline. Like, anytime you do that sort of change, it stops being the original timeline, and then you're putting.
We already know it's not Prime, though. So.
Yes, but they say it is. So you got to judge it by the standards. Like I say, they've got a time right.
Eugene puts in 150 rubles.
Thank you.
Are episode 1 to 5 or episode 1 to 5 are retconned? Wouldn't be a surprise.
Oh, because they changed the showrunners.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They could change who the Red Angel is as they go. I mean, it could be, you know, number 1 because everyone liked her. I mean, publicity and people liking people. Yeah.
And Ralph says people assume that time is a strict progression of cause to effect, but actually, from a non-linear and non-subjective viewpoint, it's more like a big ball of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
The problem is that's in a one singular timeline where everything exists as a timeline. So there is an alternate universe in Doctor Who. It's one timeline, whereas Star Trek there is alternate timelines. So it's not the same theory. You know, if you change something in the past of Doctor Who, it changes the future. If you change something in Star Trek, you've then got to live through a new version of the future to get to the future. You know, if you kill your descendant from the past, you still exist to kill a descendant from the past. You don't erase because you erase. It's not that sort of timeline. It's not like Back to the Future when it's one timeline, and then obviously it alters the second timeline. But it's the second.
And Z German just confirmed that he found it. It's on the right side in one of the in the opening credits. Which scene specifically?
It's a title sequence, but let me get one of the episodes up.
I know the title sequence, but which
of the transporter, I believe they said. But let me find it and bring it up because that's interesting. Sure. I didn't think there are any names in the title sequence, but beyond the people. Oh,
right.
Don't search transporter. No, search Discovery.
But I like the idea that Kraft is related to Jacob from New Eden. Like, that's actually a very interesting idea. Maybe it's Mud in his female outfit from this. No, yeah, it's Mud. There you go. I can see that.
Well, there's the setup and payoff. I mean, well, let's entertain that for a second. I mean, if profit is name of the game,
that's a second. All right, let's move along.
Fine, justifiably moving on.
No. If profits, what were we saying?
Well, if profit's the important thing, maybe changing boatload of history to service himself and what he needs. Okay, I'm watching the title sequence, and there's numbers on lots of the different pages, and there is very subtle text on a couple of them, but they're like
it's on the right side of the transporter pad with the hovering deltas, with the hovering deltas.
Lots of all the text is just like very neatly written, but it's not actually legible. Well, that is interesting. On the Red Angel, there's very subtle text, but it's slightly more readable. If I could understand handwriting, that might have been a really good hint if you actually bother looking at it.
Well, send it to me.
Okay. Because on the Red Angel suit thing...
Troy Massey puts in $1.99. It is Sam Beckett.
Well...
Oh, boy.
He's traveling in timelines for a while, so maybe. Okay, challenge to Stuart then to read this text. And I'll put it on the screen as well, because, I mean, hey, we could decipher this. Live on stream.
How are you sending it to me?
WeTransfer, because otherwise Facebook will compress it. But I'll also put on screen in a moment. This is not the thing with the transporter thing. This is the Red Angel, because there's some text there. And it is readable, but it's in a very hard to read sort of text script. And I'm gonna take me out of the equation here. I'm gonna put that picture up so people can take a look. And if you guys can read it, if you have an excellent ability at reading, maybe we can dissect this secret clue. Or not. Oh, I moved that. Oh, stop doing things. Okay, so if anyone can read this, then that would be great. Something moving. Antenna and not about moving. It's actually not bad readable though, considering. Start writing in the comments what you think the text is. We'll break the mystery here, and then we'll spoil it for ourselves.
And everyone else.
And everyone else. Oh, well. Oh yeah, invented by Daystrom. Nice. That's a really subtle reference. It's as if it's actually on the pad, like a little signature. It's funny. Conspiracy theories. We're here to talk about discovery. That's too legible. That's the only legible one it looks like in the entire thing. Weird. What's the chat saying?
I have some super chats too, but hold on a second.
Okay.
Let's see.
Chat, what are you all saying?
Says something did not show.
Moving. That's definitely show
writing.
moving.
Yeah. To Ward. It's probably talking about Icarus and Daedalus flying towards the sun.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And then all the same at the end.
Lacking, acting, movement, lacking.
Huh.
Well, we might not have solved it, guys, but we did try, and no one actually commented at all. That's okay. And then transporter Easter egg. Hold on. Oh my goodness, that. Yeah, you read it.
John Harrison puts in £5.
God.
You know when you keep asking where. Also, Warhammer orcs had ships that were.
Sorry, you disappeared again. Your signal disappeared. I'm sorry.
No, I haven't. I'm here.
I'm sorry you did.
I obviously didn't because I'm still here.
What did Khan say?
I don't. Oh yeah, you know when you keep asking where Jet Reno is, didn't she get sent to the space station? Also, Warhammer orcs had ships that were moons lost of guns. Rawr. Okay. I'm confused. And then Eugene puts in 300 rubles. Bootstrap paradox means it was not required for looped events to have a first timeline. Yeah, exactly. The bootstrap effect in time travel.
A version of time travel theory. There are other versions of time travel theory. For Emory Erickson in credits, see last paragraph in Memory Alpha about an article about him. And as you can see on the stream, Stuart, there it is on the right hand side. Invented by Thingamabobby.
That is cool. Z German puts in €2. at the Ted Sullivan credit. Okay. And Matthew DeFreitas puts in $2.
Thank you.
Probably Spock's floor writing in the psych ward.
Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, it's something did not show around. God damn it. It's just sloppy enough handwriting that you can't really make it out.
Although someone I think might have cracked it. Bartholomew says 2 cheeseburgers, large fries, and some chicken nuggets. But he thinks he might be wrong though.
No, I think that's what it says actually. And the last line is also send some weed. Yeah.
Also, Mike P points out there's a tattoo on Craft with the single-eyed owl. I think is what it was. That could be important as well.
Well, the owl is the Craft's tattoo. Yeah.
That's the thing about time travel. It opens up so many things. Even just having the mirror universe was very one-dimensional. Of this is the time travel. No, this is the alternate universe. George Alexander, does Egon have any plans to make the Voyager shuttle from TMP? Yes, and the 3D model of it is almost finished. I know the person that's doing it, but had to be done properly. It was meant to be done way ago, but they didn't have a good model. So
I wonder if it'll separate because it has to separate.
That'd be cool.
I kind of doubt it will, personally, but
but yeah, so Project Daedalus, I can't. Okay, so that was all about if it's actually the suit. I am saying that it's not the suit just because for them to know about it then and there, I don't think it could be the same thing. Now, I'd be fine if it was like an ultra mega super early version, because I'm not against Section 31 having the semblance of time travel tech knowledge, in the sense that they have looked at stuff found from all the data taken by Archer has allowed them to create rudimentary, always failed. Although that said, just go around the sun, guys. It's not that difficult. I think what we see in the teaser, which is, like I say, transporters, Burnham being strapped to a chair, very abstract chair, in what looks to be an abandoned facility, and then a time breach opens in orbit. I'm guessing that they can open a breach with that tech or something similar, using the scans of the breach already, and just the smart people, blah blah blah, and maybe stuff on the Section 31 base, and maybe even Spore Tech, like all of it together. But you can't navigate it. But by activating it, it becomes a beacon to the Red Angel saying, "We are now ready to see you," because they've never summoned it before. And so then it comes through, and then in a very anticlimactic sort of like, "Hello, I'm the Angel," and then they have a conversation of some kind. Maybe not revealing who it is, but I think the Daedalus part is not the suit, because that feels a little bit too contrived that they could do a full-time suit pre-TOS, and you would assume if Section 31 had access, then what things they changed ahead of time, like how many things have they changed in time, and then once they have the suit in pre-TOS, they have a suit in post-TOS and Voyager. And if you were Section 31, wouldn't you go into the future to see how you're doing in the future? Like, do you care about the time paradox? And then once you've done that once, then you've given your, or when you give a future time suit to young you in Section 31, you know what I mean? That's why I wouldn't give them the power. It seems too much. But maybe a time beacon, something time related probably. Although using transporters is tricky, but you can send signals via transporters, and they're quite high energy signals. Or they do something which is more basic, and it just triggers the right time, right place. Maybe Project Daedalus is like a really powerful power source that is what the Red Angel needs, and it needs to... I don't know. But why is Burnham being strapped down?
Yeah.
Well, it just says it's all because of her. So I guess what better bait than have the one you're after?
Or maybe it's a predestination paradox. it's all because of her, and they do this thing with her, and she causes some kind of rift. That's, I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. But also, why is Hugh there? Like, you've got a doctor
Yeah,
on
and
the ship.
everybody's wearing EV suits except for Burnham, who's being strapped to the chair. She wasn't wearing one.
That's true. That is a good point.
I don't know.
Maybe to protect against radiation.
Yeah. Kriskma1 puts in $2. What of Lazarus?
What of Lazarus, Stuart?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know.
Well, back from the dead. I guess Lazarus is Kolber.
A lot of religious and mythological undertones. I know that they changed some of Pike's stuff.
Yeah.
Some of his lines from test screenings because it was too religious. But that's kind of the vibe that this whole season has. So she was once a test pilot, says Ralph. That's why she's being strapped. I guess.
When was she a test pilot?
When she test piloted those landing craft she built.
She built.
You know.
What, a xenobiologist built specialist test
Yeah.
ships and then piloted them as a test pilot. There's no one better on the ship that's, on a pilot degree.
Didn't you miss that? I
didn't, but that's just, it's like, what was she, but actually when was she a test pilot? Like, was she a test pilot in Vulcan Science Academy for Vulcan ships? I doubt logical her would be one in the Shinjo. Like, you can say all these things, but I don't think that's true. Beyond the thing that we see her do in the show, I think that's not right.
Well, she said her line of dialogue was she was the test pilot and she held eight or 9 Gs for however long.
Yeah, but I think it just means a test pilot of that, as opposed to a test pilot in general. Like, she wasn't.
That's what it did imply, just of those pods that she helped design.
Yeah. But there's, I mean, Pike's more qualified. Everyone's more, I'm sure the dedicated test pilots on the crew that have done stuff in the past. She test piloted one EV suit pod flying thing. It's like, she's not the best candidate to be in that chair. Then Pike was a test pilot at the start of his career, and other people. I'm just saying, like, she's not the first candidate for a test piloting job, doing one test pilot degree out in space with very simple things. Just classic burden.
No, I agree.
Too important. Okay, let's give some official prediction-iness. Do you think the Discovery crew caused the rift in space-time above the planet? Yes or no? Specifically, activated themselves, not forced, not paradoxed it, but they actually create a time rift, specifically with their tech. Yeah or nay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's very, very good supposition. Yes.
Okay. Do you think they intended to do it? Yeah or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they find a way to access it, and they call it up, like you said, to summon the Red Angel. Because these things have always heralded the arrival of the angels. So. Do you think we're going to get a reveal of who the Red Angel is in the next episode? Yeah or no? Possibly. I'm hoping yay, but I'm expecting not. I expect it's going to be like almost revealed and then have to wait another episode, or and then she times out of existence. I'll say nay. I mean, thing is, you've got this epic future war time thing. Like, that was only introduced 2 episodes ago. That's brand new, Give us a 4-episode arc of fighting them. That's cool, save money and then have this big epic ending. I mean, if it was future. Sorry. We're going to say, considering it is called the Red Angel, there's a very good chance we will get the reveal of who the Red Angel is in this episode, but it could also be misleading as well. So. G178 says, what happens if we get right to the end of the season and they don't explain who the Red Angel is at all? I'll be fine with that. It's like Future Man. Yeah. They had plans for it and then just kind of, new showrunners, we're just going to let this disappear into obscurity, and I don't know. That would suck. I wouldn't be fine with it at all, actually. How big would Disco need to be for the turbo lift ride to be shown to be real? Oh, we have an episode coming up about that where we talk to Anti-Tracker about the whole turbo lift ride and issues with turbo lifts.
And Scott Clark, why does Samuel assume she can only be proficient in one skill? That's silly. No, it's not that. It's that you've got this large crew of people. To have her be the number one choice for every activity implies she's the number one in every single skill she's been picked to do. That's why it's not that she can't be more than one skill, it's that you have a specialist do that job. She's a xenobiologist, she should always be on that job. Even a sciencey person, that's fine. If she was second in command, you could argue she really should be the second in command. That would make more sense for away missions, then she would be on away missions all the time. That would fit better, I think, like number one was. But to have her do everything, like Saru's better to go on away missions than her, and other people are. Like, that's the problem, is that she's not. If she's good at if she's the first choice for every mission, then you don't need the rest of the crew. She should be on every mission. You know, it falls down on that small level. Because you can be great at other things. But then why did she pick xenobiology if that's her passion, xenobiology? Then why is she
anthrobiology?
Sorry,
whatever the hell it is. Yeah.
I doubt she has, test piloting as a resume and, heavy tactical training to the nth degree like Reed. I mean, that's why they have specialists in Starfleet. That's why Hoshi's in communications. She's also not an engineer at the same time. You have specialities. That's, that's part of the point. I mean, no one's really a generalist beyond the basics of training. So you're good at a bit of everything. You do medical, you do a bit of engineering. But Hoshi can't rebuild the warp core, can't fix the warp core, can't, what's a good example from, say, TNG? Well, Troy, I mean, she's more a specialist. But, like, Worf, you put Worf in engineering, he can't help Geordi beyond the basic stuff. Like, that's not his speciality. He also can't go and do science stuff on a planet. Specialist. But he can be in command, he can be tactical, he can be cultural, So it's just knowing Starfleet.
Zachary Gibbons, I got to give him some points for that comment. That's awesome. Call the angel. We will go far away for to see. Friendly angel, come to me.
What's that from?
Dun dun. It's TOS, man. The children shall lead. That's where they summon that angel character. It's creepy and a bad episode, but whatever.
I hope that
I had to call it out. It was awesome.
I hope that we do have the support to go back and look at other Star Trek episodes and do the same level of review and breakdown, because there was a lot of fun with the TOS and the Voyager. But we need you guys to come and watch them and super chat them, and we don't need that much support per episode. But there's so much of a plethora. I'd love to do reviews each week as just a regular, maybe not on Friday because takes away some of the time of the week. But it'd be nice to do that as a show because it's really fun. Seeing the gaffes, the goofs, and obviously you've got your own personal favourites. And guess what? We'll review each for good and for bad and for average. There's so many average bits. Like even for like Threshold, we were like, boy, that ending. But up until the ending, it's like, oh, this is interesting. This is sciencey. This is some good stuff. Not well filmed, but So they've all got the good and the bad. I'd love to look at some DS9s I haven't seen for years. Some TNGs I haven't seen for years as well. And just some bland Enterprise ones that I have no memories of.
Captain Ron Phillips says, what if the Red Angel is the mycelial network woman that took Tilly? That would be May. I mean, maybe that's May's way of coming back to see Tilly because they couldn't. She closed the door. I don't know. I mean, it could be anybody. So many theories.
It's tricky.
Jeffrey Tyler. Jeffrey Taylor puts in 1999. Thank you very much.
Dude.
If Captain Pike's captaincy of the Discovery ends at the end of the current season, who do we see assuming command? Saru, Burnham, or number one from Enterprise would be good. Those three. Or the dude that was supposed to get it that's on Vulcan still.
You have such a soft spot for him, don't you?
I do. I feel bad for the poor bastard.
Yeah. Well, we know that they said the plan was to swap out captains each year. I think number one is... Well, they said number one's not recurring for season 3. So I guess that rules her right out. I mean, I think Saru's a bad choice just because he's so different as a character now. I think that's really risky. You don't know how he's going to react. Burnham, I mean, be fine, but it wouldn't be... Again, the problem is season 3, they can do whatever they want and also do nothing. They could make it smaller or character-based. There's some reports it'll be a much smaller season, which we don't know about. We haven't got there yet. Don't think they're going to necessarily even commit to how many episodes until they know how season 2 does, because obviously it's done better this year, but they need to drive a lot of all access and such. I don't know.
Yeah. Paul Danzinger puts in $5.
Thank you.
Hey mates, just popping in to say that Ben Sisko is a Red Angel, and he's got his cool sunglasses on. This guy, this is emoji. So, I mean, sure, he doesn't need a suit though. I'm sorry. He's a wormhole alien now, I guess.
Okay, let's go outside of the Discovery box for a second. Because we know they're kind of weird with Canon, although that having the Daystrom reference inside of the TAR sequence is awesome. Well done them. And it's one of those subtle things that, they don't even need credit. Like, they're not begging for credit. It's just cool, If we look at the grander Star Trek canon, they could legally use any show, and it wasn't a problem, and rights were, because a lot of the individual episodes are owned by different writers as well sometimes on the concept, so it's not even, who in the grander scheme would make sense to be in the suit? If they were actually making a Star Trek show for Star Trek fans, like Enterprise, and everything could be a reference, and everything could be a cleverness, what would make a lot of sense, assuming the show assumed that we've seen every episode of Star Trek?
Wesley Crusher, because the Traveler has knowledge of these weird things, and Wesley has the technical know-how, and they'll team up and go like, hey, you know what we could do? We could pull the biggest prank on the galaxy ever. Let's go screw shit up. And I'll build the suit, you power it, and I don't know.
Well, I like that, actually, but I'm going to think another side version. I mean, it's equally as silly, but also it'd be funny. The Q daughter. That Qs aren't allowed to change time because that's not, that ruins time, They're stopped by the Q. So therefore she built herself a suit, which allows her to use her Q powers inside of it, but keeps her shielded from other Qs, so she can make subtle changes of the timeline without other Qs noticing.
I'd be down.
Which is similar to the Traveler, but I thought as a woman, I was trying to link in there.
Yeah, I do like the Sisko link though. It'd be cool to see Sisko come back.
Oh no!
But I don't think he needs a suit.
It's Cassidy trying to change time so it's have to be so he's not the emissary. Like she's doing all these subtle steps to change DS9 to stop this happening. Yeah. That's sad though.
That's why she took the church, because there's a relation of Sisko in there, and she needed them to disappear, but not kill them, because she doesn't want to kill people.
Yeah, I was just thinking, well, they're very far away, you couldn't save them, but yeah. Gosh. I mean, honestly, the problem is you've got two inbuilt explanations. You've got a 31st century agent like Daniels, who isn't Daniels. Boom, sorted. But then they time travel a lot easier, a lot quicker, a lot better, just they pop in and out like it's not even a thing. Or you've got a 29th century time agent in the temporal agency of the time agents, and they just, one man suiting it rather than shipping it. Because I'm assuming the ship is, so powerful, it has that beam that could undo Voyager from time. The suit can't do that. So it says, you go down these levels. Rather than EVA suits, they have time suits just in case. So I can sort of buy that. It's a little bit fancy with the wings. That feels a little bit, I'm trying to make a statement. But that could just be,
Yeah.
That could just be for show, because if you show yourself to all these different races, a dude, a woman in a suit, red suit, going, "Wah," is like, it's an alien. Whereas an angel, put the wings on, it's like, it's an angel. You know what I mean? There is you create a mythos around that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, Super Steel AK puts in $1.99 and says, I hope it's a character we've not previously known. I would be totally down with that.
Me too.
I do like the idea of it being the Discovery's AI somehow from the future commandeered this suit, maybe teamed up with Kraft. Maybe Kraft's there as well. He's
Yep.
in the suit, and I'd be down with that. I want to see Kraft come back. I really liked his character. I like the actor, so that would be cool as well. But yeah, somebody we previously not known would be great. That way, all of our speculation, they just made us look like idiots. Which, yeah. Captain Foley is the Red Angel, says Cody. Really think I could fit in that suit, man.
Although, to be fair...
To be fair, Samuel is skinny enough and he's wearing red right now, but I'm not going to say that, that's none of my business. Whatever.
Look, to be fair, it's future tech. Why the hell couldn't it reorganize your, mass?
It could be act like a girdle.
Well, it's the future.
It's the future, baby. Yeah. Eugene puts in another 250 rubles. Thank you very much, Eugene. Janeway, hips are hips, or 7 of 9. Hips don't lie, baby. Going back to the whole thing we're talking about with Amanda, the people that I don't think are the Red Angel, I'm going to knock Spock out of the picture. I'm going to knock Amanda out of the picture. I'm going to knock Tilly out of the picture.
Although, briefly, has it got to be a woman for you based on the silhouette? Is that like an absolute must?
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. I think that might have been a little bit of a red herring.
So you think that's just a trick?
I think maybe because it did look female, but I can see them making it a guy. But those three are out right away.
Sorry,
I can't see Spock having good Yeah, I can't see Spock having good motivation for it. Same with Amanda, and it's definitely not Tilly because it's just not the right body type. Sorry. So, and it's not Saru. That's guaranteed.
Although, I mean, you could get really fancy and say the suit itself is a holographic holographic shell, just like Giorgio has.
Presenting this image.
Yeah, of a human looking. I mean, I just remembered the whole thing about the Iconian. The Iconians. There's so many little references to them and the look and what if it's an Iconian in a suit? I mean, they say human, but they're doing time tech. Like, okay, beyond the fact that anyone can do Around the Sun and anyone can go through Guardian Forever, beyond that stuff, time tech isn't a tech until a certain point in Trek. And by that point, everything's very, very advanced. So why couldn't you mask your life signs and fake them to a mind meld, which isn't even connecting with you? It's connecting to not even touching the suit. There's several layers of in between. So it's a bit of a double red herring to say it's human, but what about it being an Iconian, the last Iconian that's creatively doing time stuff for reasons, maybe these, you know what I mean? I mean, there's so many little specific visual references and Demons of Ice and Fire, all these little things,
I don't want it to be an Iconian. I think that's just kind of a cop-out.
Really? You think that's a cop-out?
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody expects it to be because it looks like one.
Well, the Stowe one, yeah.
I mean, that's one of the earliest things we heard was Iconian.
The earliest, yeah.
Troy Macy puts in $4.99.
Thank you.
It is Casey. So she changes the time into the Orville. Oh.
I was going to make an awful joke as soon as I said it, but yeah.
He held it back, but our super chatters aren't letting us down. They can read our minds and they make us say it anyway.
They make us go. They make us go.
Richard Cottam puts in £9.99.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
First ever comment. Well, thank you very much, sir, for commenting.
Thanks, Richard.
I think the AI Discovery is behind it all. So lonely in the future that she is trying to change the past. Red Discovery. And that's a theory that makes a ton of sense. When we heard the lonely thing from the mind meld, it's one of the things I suggested that it could be the AI from Discovery. So
and I ran with it.
It makes perfect sense. Yeah, absolutely.
No, and come on again. That ship has managed to grow its own sentience. You can't say it's out of its reach to grow a human body. Like that's not wouldn't even be a question for me. And they're in the what, 3200s, was it they were far? They're really far in the future. So yeah, it could just be that AI inside a grown human body to be with Craft, or just to see Craft, just to support him, whatever. So there's a human in that suit. I mean, what better way? And again, what a great reason for that short. You know, we see the genesis of why. Okay, yay or nay though? Do you think we're gonna see the delay, the thing that makes Discovery stay there, don't move for 1,000 years? Do you think that's going to be at the end of the season?
Yes, I do. I think all of the. I mean, we got the payoff for the brightest star. Runaway has no payoff because it was just stupid.
But it was like the first thing we had to quickly write it. I mean, it was she's in the command training program.
Yeah, and issues with her mother. It's been mentioned too.
Didn't cast the actress to show her face, which I found funny. Sorry.
So then there's Calypso, which needs to tie in somehow. That's a very important plot point. The 1,000 years of waiting for the ship. Something has to happen in that regard. And the mud one was just for fun. That was just a mud episode.
It's
right?
actually it's a payoff to the last appearance. To seize on the run, to have some fun with it. It's kind of a payoff to the mud character. And I'm sure they said, I mean, that'll get them views. Sarah will get them views. Tilly will get them views. Craft is a narrative one. You put it in the middle.
And Zachary, sorry, I got to jump in there. Zachary Gibbons says, but they said it was a human girl, and AI can't become human. No, but if it's Arium that becomes the sentient AI of Discovery because she downloaded all her memories before she left the ship, and starts corrupting the system, and after 1,000 years has evolved, she was originally human. Therefore, yes.
Yeah. Well, the AI is just computer code put into a human body. Then what's he reading via his far away from the body mind meld? He's reading a human body, human mind. Well, human body with a brain that signals have gone into to be custom. I mean, so many times I'm sure in Trek we've seen. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've seen several episodes where a robot's infected a human. You know what I mean? I think we've seen episodes in Trek like that. I'd be odd if we haven't. Can't remember anything particular. I thought we've seen at least one. Although that Data's mother episode, doesn't she read as human despite being an android? That was the whole point. Data that's so.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, this is the mega future. So, this is well past 29th century time ship people that can change alt and police time. You really think they can't create a human body and successfully put an AI inside the human body and make it seem human? I don't think that's beyond possibility.
Or even make an artificial body that reads as human.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Like you said, the Arium stuff. I don't think it's literally Arium, but yeah, I think that many memories of humanity, but through the guise of cybernetics, is a unique twist on that idea. Which then, it's doing algorithms, it's learning, it's seeing thoughts, it's seeing love, and that does really refine down why she falls in love with the craft, because Arium had this husband that died, missed him, finds this warrior who's in an accident, brings him back to health, looks after him. I mean, that's
falls in love with him.
The missing link that, there's so much connective tissue there. It's and like they did say, craft would be
project
back,
Yeah, Wolf says Project Daedalus equals transporter-based time machine. That's interesting as well.
I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, it's a weird one, and then explain it by technobabble. You can't make things as easy, but I mean, if you add mycelium, right? If you add all that crap,
yeah. Joe Wright said, I'm hoping it's Arium or Michael. Please, anyone but Giorgio.
Won't be Giorgio.
I can't see it being Giorgio.
No. It's out of left field. Have to be a really good explanation. And then, is it Giorgio? Is it Mirror Giorgio? Is it alternate mirror universe? Yeah, alternate universe. I mean, it's even easier if it was just an alternate universe character.
You, you know how much time we put into this whole live? Like we got 124 or an hour and 24 minutes, right?
Yep.
This could all just go away on Thursday. It's like, oh, this is who it is.
Oh,
Boom. There's
yeah.
motivation. Boom. And we'll be like, oh, we just speculated and came up with a whole bunch of great storylines for no damn reason. Thank you very much.
Well, is this not entertaining? Are you not entertained?
They're entertained.
And guys, 135 likes. Please keep clicking that like button. 270 people watching, which is amazing.
Yes.
Please do click that like button.
Important.
Yes.
Chris Kma 1 puts in $5. Calypso Discovery is in a time eddy, while Skeleton Crew has entered a tidy to battle the AI. 1,000 years on board ship and a few hours for the crew. Ooh, time eddies. Wow. Could be that all the crew get taken off Discovery in this next episode, and get on this abandoned station where you see Michael getting tied down, and they actually got transported through time or something, and she's got to take them back. And Discovery's actually been waiting for 1,000 years. She's got to go get Discovery. She's going to be the only one on it, pilot it back.
Wait, hold on, sorry. I was reading a really interesting comment. Say that again, sorry. I know what it says important, but this comment's also important. Sorry, what did you say again? Sorry.
Nope.
Sorry.
Maybe everybody gets sucked off Discovery or has to be transferred to the Section 31 ship in this next episode because of a time thing. Yeah. Hold on, just listen.
No, I thought you said sucked
that's
off
that abandoned station we.
I was just laughing at
that. And that's the abandoned station we see in the trailer that Michael's getting strapped down in because she's got to find a way to get back to Discovery, which has now been sitting for 1,000 years for whatever reason. She goes forward 1,000 years, gets on Discovery, reconfigures everything, gets Discovery with the help of the AI, perhaps, back to the correct time, and then everybody gets back on Discovery and they continue their journey.
But the AI is now important to blah, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
I mean, the fact is the Spore Drive can do time. You know what I mean? It can do time. So, I mean, it'd probably suck for the future time people, but I mean, it can do time.
Would they get sucked off the ship? Zachary says, I am entertained. If it's revealed Thursday, then great. Rusty Knuckles says, we are entertained. So we are entertaining people. So yay.
Superb.
And hopefully we're not looking like morons in the process.
Hopefully. It's going great.
But confirm season 3, what are they going to do? Well, that's a good question. We don't know yet.
And what does season 3 mean?
To see how this one plays out, because really it could go multiple ways right now of how season 3 could start.
Yeah.
It could end with them. The season could literally end with them having to leave Discovery and say, wait here 1,000 years for some whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then it's like end of the season.
Well, I mean, think about how many Voyager, TNG, DS9 next time on. Because I mean, how much more of a tease do you want? They knew they had season 3 before they finished wrapping season 2. I think either just or close enough. And they could have hoped for it. Because, I mean, you know, I think that's an interesting risk. But that could really pay off, having a 2-parter season. Because have they had a single... I mean, it's all one big season, but... Okay, do you want to see a double Red Angel season, then? You know, is that...
No.
Is that... Okay. Yeah.
I do not. I want it wrapped up this season and then something new next season.
Okay. So, someone said... Michael Kirst... This is going back to Craft and the shorts linking in. He said they used assets like the pod from Calypso, which are already used on the series. So it might be an indication, not a time per se. I think it means of reusing assets from different shorts because they're important. They're being made for the show, being reused. Although Michael Kirst, do you actually mean that the pod was used somewhere else? Because I don't remember that pod from anywhere else specifically.
I'd have to see the pod again, but.
Jonathan Alvarez said they did add an extra episode this season. They knew 3 is coming. Did they? I don't recall they had an extra episode. Do you remember that?
I didn't hear that, but no, I don't.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool if they end up adding an extra episode because they say, well, we want to add that next time on. Especially if you end your arc at episode 14, tease season 3 episode 15, just do a nice bottle show and then take the budget out of season 3. It'd be kind of cool. I kind of like the Discovery being lost to the future, but it needs to be lost to the future because then it'll give them a chance. I know you wouldn't necessarily like this fully, but to have Discovery A, refit Discovery or have a new version, same basic iterative thing, but don't have the spore tech in part of it. If you remove the spore tech as part of the equation, then suddenly you can have a design which fits more into canon, feels more justifiably itself, has the limitations that Brian Fuller put in, and then season 3 you could start with a brand new art design in all the ways, which maybe, hopefully, that the Enterprise bridge. Because I think at this point we're going to accept certain changes. We've said this the entire time. You can visually update as long as you do it right. If the Enterprise bridge is a very clever, well done, visually update thingy, we're like, nice, great, cool. They've not quite done that for anything yet, but hopefully they can. And then you can imagine season 3, they'll put the sets away, build some slightly different ones, and then have Discovery A sell more toys, make it much more, at least vaguely fitting, and then
what happened to OBS, man? We lost our overlay.
Yeah, I was trying to do it cleaning at the same time, but I fixed it back already, but it's not
fine.
Dan23, Discovery is not the ship in Star Trek 3. Search for Spock just looks similar because of concept designs. Yes, not the same thing at all.
Yeah. And Captain Ron Phillips puts in $2 and says Robert April finally arrives for season 3. I'd be fine with seeing Robert April.
Yeah. Commodore, cool. Maybe. Be kind of a fleet captain.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Decker.
And then
before he goes crazy on Constellation. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be nice to see him before he went crazy. But not anymore.
If that's their way of giving people retroactive canon. Or if you want to go a bit obscure, you have the Black Lady from the Saratoga. The Star Trek 3 as a younger her as a captain. I mean, it depends if you want to go progressive or just character or reference or,
Yeah. John Atkin made an interesting comment here. Runaway will have a payoff. The director of that is directing episode 11. So I suspect that the lithium crystallization Tilly was given will be used to power the suit in that episode. I could totally buy that. Could totally buy it, even though they can't recrystallize it. Even Scotty said so, but maybe it just dies with Tilly.
Well, if the planet blows up, that's a good payoff to that. Introduce it then. Because the thing is, they can create controversy and then destroy it in the same show and therefore solve the controversy. You make Section 31 this great, everyone knows it thing, but then you destroy it in the same season. You've had your cake and eaten it too. You create this massive, stupid dilithium problem, but then the planet blows up. But no, I don't see that the way you say it, because if this thing's from the 2750s or beyond, it doesn't need 22nd century normal dilithium, because they're just making normal dilithium. It's not like they're making super dilithium. The idea that they can recrystallize and keep dilithium going, so it's just a reusable supply, is different to uber dilithium. But I certainly agree that might come in. Like, they need to quickly get some free dilithium. They go to the place, Tilly's Friendosa some. Maybe whatever experiments they do shatter all the dilithium cores, and they can only make one spore jump before the Discovery dies. They have to go to this planet to recoup it. That'd be fine. I think that's actually a smart payoff. And then kind of explains why it's such a haphazardly made piece. But, yeah.
Our one admin, Darren, messaged me and said, can someone let Cap know Discovery was, when ordered in October 2017, was for 13 episodes. However, it was extended to 14 in the early stages of filming because CBS wanted to recover costs of production overrun when they changed the staff. No conspiracy. So
who commented that?
It's on my group chat for the moderators.
Oh, cool.
It's one of our mods, Darren.
Cool.
Captain Ron Phillips puts in. Oh, I said that one already. Sorry. Eugene puts in 500 rubles.
Eugene, you're
maybe
a real
this is
pal.
The start.
Just saying.
Yeah. Maybe it's the start of the time travel arc. Episode 11 is called Perpetual Infinity. Time loop, maybe. By the way, Deadline has news. Pike and number 1 will leave after season 2. Yeah, we knew that. AK quote is intriguing. We will synchronize with Canon by the end. Really?
Well, they said that in season 1.
That'd be nice. They've been saying that all along. And if they do, bravo. I will give them much kudos.
Thing is, if they said they weren't going to synchronize with Canon in the end, then you'd be like...
People would riot.
Hezawazawa. So, if people keep mentioning it, you got to keep reiterating it. But the fact is, they're doing their own thing. I mean, they it's not in their interest to synchronize with Canon, but obviously they're not like breaking Canon per se. They're doing all the new stuff, but it's like they're just doing their own thing, you know.
Yeah.
But they've already done all the visual stuff. They've already broken all the. I mean, if you reboot all visual Canon, and say we'll link to Canon, it's like, I mean, good, but you still did your damage. Would you want an applause for ruining half of the stuff? I mean, really, you're not gonna get it.
Well, Valkyrie 417 puts in $5.
Thank you.
So we were expecting Star Trek to do a battle star-esque tech reversion, going from holograms and fancy stuff to TOS. Yeah, we actually have a theory about that. That's why the TOS looks a little more primitive computer-wise, because they had to scale back the computers, because Section 31 or somebody could use the new technology to anyway, it's a thought.
Well,
and I have no problems with that. That's the way it should be, because whatever.
Well, as they just said, they can link up the Canon, so that's what you gotta do. No, they're yeah.
And John Smith puts in €2. Have to rewatch. Was in a call at this hour. Meh. Sorry.
He's gone, ladies and gentlemen. Stuart has disappeared.
When did I leave now?
Hello, Stuart. Welcome back, my friend.
When did I leave this time? What was I saying?
He read the call and then it sort of just stopped. As in, you read he was on a call.
So John Smith puts in €2. Have to rewatch. Was in a call at this hour. Meh. So there you go. John Smith commenting and super chatting. Thank you very much, John Smith. No, Joseph. We'll say your name. We waited the whole show to pay off to hear your name. Joseph. There you go. Or Joseph. Patrick. Yeah.
We have fun here, don't we, Stuart? Look at all the fun we're having.
Oh, just oozing with fun. And if you're not having fun, how dare you? Yes. So, yeah. I mean, we come up with a lot of great discussions and, theories and stuff during this live. So this has been absolutely very fun. And you guys are awesome for contributing. So thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Yeah. The focal length. But to be honest, they did quite a good job in season 2. I'm finally excited. New Trek, and it actually is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's getting better for sure.
I mean, that's the thing we said the whole time. As long as it's good television, we can ignore the canon problems, the little, the problems here and there. It's like, just give us good TV. We can still enjoy it. And it must show, though, let's finish on this thought, it must, as in my comment, it must, though, that the amount of videos we did looking at season 1, all the massive plot holes, the massive things, and look at the relatively positive videos we've done this year, it's because it's been far more solid, Sorry.
Yeah, well, William Blumenstein says, don't read this comment on air. Oh, sorry. The focal length says, Captain Foley is the Red Angel. He was gone again, saving some church. Yeah, every time I glitch out there, that's just a temporal thing with the webcam. It affects it. So, but I'm back. People are saved. It's fine. Wasn't the TOS button consoles explained because of the subspace signal that hacked into all Starfleet systems from the Romulans? Remember Enterprise had touchscreens? Yep. That's been explained. I forget where that was explained, but yes. They had to downgrade their tech a bit so it couldn't be hacked as easily. Yes. You guys are good TV. We're good TV.
Thank you.
Yay.
And trekmovie.com just did release an article that's basically saying what we said, but let me read their reporting. It does just, not second-hand reporting. It says, with the Red Angel arc expected to wrap up at the end of this season, and given that Pike has returned to the Enterprise to stick with Canon, it should come as no surprise Deadline is reporting that Anson Mont's deal for the show was only for this season, and is not expected to return for the third. As noted by Deadline, showrunner Alex Kurtzman hinted at this and at the TCA event in January, saying, the fact that we'll synchronise with Canon by the end of the season, that means we'll see shades of where we all know Pike will end up. Mont also hinted that he was a one-season undone with the show back in January. So, again, Alex Kurtzman, to quote, the fact that we'll synchronise with Canon by the end of this season means we'll see shades of where we all know Pike will end up. So I guess he'll be a teacher by the end? I mean, what's the shade there? Or he'll have a wheelchair in his office, be like, look, it's my future. I don't know how you'd link.
That's foreshadowing. That's not a shade, but he'll make it his promotion to fleet admiral or commodore or whatever the hell he was when he got.
Well, if he helps solve this problem, I mean, give him promotion. I don't think Saru could have done it alone. Him and the team.
You're so speciesist.
No. It's just don't always capable of now, Stuart. John Atkin, why did the Angel save the church on New Eden? Is Croft a descendant? Zora making sure he is well in the timeline as she goes about saving everyone. The church, because it's an important part of the puzzle. Is Croft a descendant? Who the hell knows? Wait and see.
As an IT trainer, downgraded tech for security is not realistic. Legit, I'll buy that, but makes it an interesting discussion piece for why it looks so different.
So saying the Battlestar Galactica show premise is broken. In this first Cylon War, they hacked everything, destroyed everything, and so Galactica was made to not be susceptible to that. They downgraded everything. Pegasus was then made and all the fancy stuff, and then the second Cylon War happened and they hacked everything again, destroyed the entire fleet, and the Galactica was the only one to survive besides Pegasus, which was losing its computer system. So you also must hate Battlestar Galactica. And everyone loved that at the time. So no, I think it's completely justifiable, and we've seen good examples of such. But again,
and Cody Michael says,
yeah.
Sorry, I have Trekyards on my big TV in my living room. You guys are huge, so I'm just gonna continue your point. You're saying about Battlestar Galactica.
Let me help you there, Stuart, with the digital post work. Okay, stay there. No. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
What are you doing?
You'll see.
Why? Don't. Are you like gonna zoom into my pupil or something?
Who said that again? Sorry.
Cody. Where'd it go? I disappeared. Oh my god.
Cody, I hope you liked my present
Cody Michaels.
For you. Right, you should look at the stream, Stuart. It's all going to sync up.
I'm looking at the stream. I see myself big. Oh my god.
Cody, it's for you, man. Hope you enjoyed the show.
I see you, Cody. That's terrifying.
Well, yeah. It's just your face.
We should do a whole live like that, just me. So that's my first reaction video next week.
Oh, he says that's
Zoom
awesome.
right in and be like,
You're welcome.
Wasn't BSG's downgraded to become a museum piece and put back into the original style?
Nope.
No, that's not the vibe I got at all.
Not at all. Because in the first Cylon War, they used that trick, which is why the Galacticos were made. In the Cylons, they won that war, the Cylons went away. Pegs and stuff happened.
And they separated the systems. They didn't have all the systems interconnected anymore. They separated them so they'd be harder to hack.
It was multiple things, and then when they made the newer ships, they had security systems in place to stop that. They got past that once the first Cylon War happened, but then Boltar, the Cylons needed Boltar to help them gain access to the grid, and because all the ships are linked, the shutdown command worked on every ship, allowing for a second hack, different hack, but second hack. They did say that in the first Cylon War, they made different Battlestars shoot each other, and that was a big thing. different ships. So yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, come on, hacking is a huge thing. If you can get past firewalls, I mean, it's just as simple as Wrath of Khan, the simplest of hacks. Turn the tide from we lost to we can not die. So, I mean, yeah, you know, kind of filtered out there, petered out there a little bit. You know, guys, it's a fun thing to do this stuff, you guys.
Oh, Captain, what big eyes you have! All the better to see you with, my children. Yeah, it's creepy. Sorry. We are losing the Discovery at the end of this season. Are we losing Discovery? Probably not.
Oh, that's interesting. Rainn Wilson confirms Harry Mudd out of Star Trek Sci-Fi Wire, 15th March 2019. I guess he didn't want to do it anymore, because I would see no other reason yeah, I'm defining the article. That's a weird thing to do. During a panel at Emerald City Comic Con with Sci-Fi Wire's Tara Bennett, Wilson confirmed that he will not appear in the second season of the All Access show. He did say that the sliding doors could be wished open, possible return in season 3, however. Huh.
Wow, that means absolutely nothing. It's like, hey, I'm not here, but I could come back.
Hey, I didn't film anything for
Thank
season
you for
2.
saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this massively epic, different arc, I'm not in it. It's like, okay. I mean, Laurel's in 1 episode so far, so I mean, she was in like 9.
Oh, we know she's in more though, because we've seen her behind the scenes, like her with her thing on dancing on Discovery.
This is true. I forgot about that. Dress. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
But I do think
unless
that
she was just on set playing that day and didn't actually film it, but I highly doubt that.
And allowed them to put like 6 hours of makeup on her just to party, just for a promo video. It's a great video. And I think that I mean, come on, they wouldn't set up the D7. So, I mean, that entire scene could have been filmed in a chambers. Could be filmed on a simple green screen set. That whole D7 line was specifically to set up the D7 at the end of the show, so it's epic payoff of, one of those tentacle ship probes comes out of the rift, the end of the season, and the Enterprise on one side, the Klingon ship on the other side. It's epic fight, and it looks effing cool. We never got that.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Man.
And Discovery's at the planet doing time stuff, and these two ships, the best of their fleet, because I'm sure that the Enterprise got retrofitted at the same time. They got newest torpedoes, newest weapons, newest engines to get there quicker, because they had to redo their engines because they lost power. So give them TOS Connie engines, but slightly more updated. And it warps in, there's epic battle, and both get either damaged, and it needs another refit from the Enterprise, and then it get the full Connie, and the D7 does well. I think it would do good things. I think there's so much, or even just, a great homage to Star Trek 6 with Laurel in her, D7, brand new D7, and the Discovery, side by side. It'd be cool. Yeah. No, I mean, it is genuinely nice, isn't it, Stuart, to be excited for a season of Star Trek?
Yeah.
I don't know if I was...
It is. It's an interesting thing to be in this new Star Trek world, because there's more Trek on the way, and it's all exciting. We'll see how it goes. I almost wish I could just sit back and enjoy it, but here we are. This is what we have to do: analyze it and break it down, and hear the good and the bad and the ugly.
But we do get to theorize some amazing stuff.
Oh yes.
And also we do it in the pub as well. If we lived close to each other, we'd go to I'd book you for drinks after every episode and just chat about it for 3 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's nice, just good enough storytelling with a good enough plot is all you need. It might really hurt TOS, it might really go against it, but the fact is the TOS continuity is backed up in every series of Trek. There's a reference to it, there's a ship version of it, so TOS we know is how that era looked. 100% canon.
Yeah.
It's in every other show. We know that's how it looked. Discovery is its own separate visual reboot. It does not alter the main timeline. It does not affect that TOS still look like TOS, because we've seen TOS. It exists. We have, 100 episodes if you include references from other things. So we know exactly what TOS looks like. Discovery does not change that. It just creates its own take on it. And as soon as Discovery stops, we'll never use that era again, hopefully, as a visual continuity. Maybe after the Section 31 show, but After that, we'll never use it again, and they'll sell a couple of toys, and the Eagles will finish their miniatures, and move on to the card show.
But will there be toys? Will there be toys? Because the McFarlane toys are currently done. They were supposed to have a Michael Burnham, and a phaser. The phaser got cancelled, and now I think they're done.
Yeah. And the Eagle Moss are like easy sells because people are weird. They buy ships. And the files were there. There's no expense by CBS at all. None. Ships already made. Boom. Done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, we're running at the end of our time now. So please do super chat your final questions, comments, thoughts, and we'll address them before we go. And then we'll be back tomorrow to talk about our favourite sci-fi adventures in all of Trek. And that's a pretty cool thing.
Yes. The focal length puts in €2.29, €2.29, whatever. You already read 2 of my comments, so why not chip in? Well, thank you. You don't have to do that, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Off topic, what happened to the Star Trek Adversaries game? Asked Paul.
Their CBS license was not renewed, so they were not allowed to do another year of. It was going great, and then it got non-renewed. So that's a shame.
Which is sad. Another CBS screw up, in my opinion, but whatever.
And just a fun little side thing, we'll have to look at this sometime. The Tom Costaneo posts on Twitter another Orville prop. It's the new rifle, the new long-range battle rifle he designed for Season 2. A nod to larger phaser rifles from First Contact. And it's a different to the conventional rifle. It looks... I'll send you the picture, Stuart. It looks pretty cool. Maybe do a live on it. Or, just like talk about it. Or
the focal length says, I can only write 50 characters in Super Chat. Is that normal? Anyways, thanks for your work and greetings from Austria. The larger your Super Chat amount, the more you can type.
Yes.
That's why the $1, if you just donate $1, you can't type anything.
Yeah. With
$5, it's like 30 or 50 characters, and then it goes up as your amounts go up. Depends on what color your Super Chat is. And Eugene, gets to cheat because he's doing rubles. And if he puts in 500, it goes red, and that's like the big, look at this, and it sticks around forever. Yeah. But he's cheating because it's only 500 rubles, but that's okay. Anyway, Eugene, 200 rubles. What if Daedalus is not connected to Red Angel? I mean, it's a possibility, but I highly doubt it. Oh God, Jill puts in $2 super chat. The new captain will be Garth. That would ruffle some feathers, I'm sure.
It'd be a funny middle finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note.
So we will jump in tomorrow for even more cool
tomorrow will be a good one. Are we going to go with what you originally thought about?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'll announce it then. Tomorrow's live, we're going to be talking about our favorite time travel stories in Star Trek. So we're going to hit the time travel episodes and talk about them. So if you guys want to join us, feel free. It's the same time, the same Trekyards time, the same Trekyards channel, 5 Eastern Standard Time, and whatever it is in the UK right now, because daylight savings time screwed everything up for a while.
So it's nice. It's earlier for all the UK people for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
For a bit. Oh, and Jeff Jacobs says, use PayPal. It's true. Let me just check out PayPal, see if anyone else... Nope, that's fine. But yeah, thanks, guys, for your support. We filmed 2 good episodes today. We're going to film some more this week with another guest. Look forward to Saturday as well. And we're trying to do some cool Trekker stuff. We're also planning some fundraising stuff. So please do have a look out for that. We're really excited. It'll be stressful, fun, busy, and worth it. And then some Patreon
what
stuff
are we
as well.
excited for? I missed some.
Hopefully. Lots of stuff. So say goodbye, Stuart.
Goodbye, Samuel.
Bye, Stuart. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.